Hi, I've just done this rough pencil drawing. I'm going to do a line and wash of this picture I took from the Wandle this morning. It's the river. I'm sorry if this, I can't really get that any better than that. I'll zoom in on it and see if I can just change that around a bit. It's some wooden clapboard Mitcham houses by the River Wandle, which is coming through here, and we bike ride it every Tuesday. We've been out this morning. It's a beautiful day. It's incredible weather for end of December. The temperature here is about 12 degrees, and it's lovely. It's unprecedented, really. But the weather is very, very changeable throughout the country. We've had all sorts of problems, as you know, as has America. So I've sent for this to all those people that are left homeless as a result of this, or in dire straits. So these houses are very, very old. I'm not sure, probably 17th, 18th century, 18th century. There are still quite a few of these houses left in Mitcham, but you have to hunt them down. They are lovely. This was a beautiful area before it got industrialised, and I would imagine these cottages, and maybe they're not quite as old, but I don't know, they're sort of double roofed. Got a main roof there going down to these other cottages here, and a roof behind. I'm not showing this part, I'm just showing a bit of this. I'll put that tree in because I like it, and it will frame the picture on one side. And there's a lot of these thin branch trunk trees here, but still a bit of greenery behind, and a lot of tangle of bramble and all sorts there. And we bike right along here, and I have had a go at these from a different angle, so I just move this round so I can see it to try to paint it. Here we've got a barbecue cover, well, not barbecue, there's a barbecue, I'm not going to paint that, but that there is just a covered up outside heater. Gas heater, and I think this is a wall here with a finial on the top. So a couple of windows there, some windows down there, but this front wall seems to be void of windows. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm going to put these trees up there, so if in doubt, put a tree in front of it. Okay, right, let's come round. I hope the sun's not too bright. There, I'm going to ink this in now, and I'm using a matchstick. The reason I'm using a matchstick, and I have used these before, as you know, as I saw Ted Weston first use sharpened sticks, and I was watching one of John Hawes' videos. He's a wonderful watercolour painter, lives in Reigate, Surrey. I've got holes in the corner of my picture here. That's from Harry the Pussycat. Right. So, and he was using a matchstick, and I thought, well, I'd use a matchstick, and I've had this one for years. I've just got a matchstick stuck in the end of a piece of dowel that I drilled out some years ago. And I'm using a black acrylic ink, paint. So, I'll just go in and start putting some lines. Let's start up the top in this roof here. Now these tiles have got hips on, hip tiles. We'll show them. Very rustic and tiles, pan tiles coming down. Here, chimney stack. Here, oops, got blobs. So I'm using this bit of this pot here. I would have been better with a flat surface. I've put a bit of water in with it as well. Come down here, so I'll come across there. Just a couple of chimney pots. All the work in these sort of things is in the drawing rather than the paint just filling in with paint. That's the roof going up there. I will use a bit of a brush or rigger. Chimneys. Okay, we've got another stack here. I'm not going to take too much trouble with this. I want to actually finish it. Okay, so I'll come with the eaves. Oh, I've gone too far over there. And then we've got a roof there coming out. Cover that with the roof behind that. I had some little plastic pots. I could have diluted the paint in those. It might have been a bit better. And we're putting, try and get them vertical. That's the edge there. These windows. It's a sort of trellis coming down here. So we're showing in rough, and there's a lot of it's going to be a bit obscure. So we've got window over here. Put some black in there. Try and leave the cross pieces. That'll do. Come down to this wall here. And this sort of finial on the top of that. Just balancing on this, a bit big. A barbecue. Not barbecue, the patio heater. Cover. And then just a lot of nondescript stuff on the patio here. This is such a lovely area. But you wouldn't think it was surrounded by busy main roads and all sorts. But it's like an oasis. Okay, so I think, oops. What's gone on here? I think we've crashed the computer. Right, what do we do? It's getting old, this now. Let's let's cross it. Let's turn it off and reboot it. Right. Now set it up again. Oh, hold on, just turn it on at the mains. Because the battery's not very good on it. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? It's a good 5 years old, and I think it was shop sold when I bought it. But it hasn't done too bad. Style windows normally. Right, starting windows. Right. Okay, so put a bit of a wall in there. Right, now I'm going to use a rigger. We'll just brush in this green stuff here, very, very faint. in the background. I'll leave that unpainted there, I think. And what is it put me? Don't look at this, I'm going to put my password in. Right, okay, so I'm guessing now, so we'll just put in this, all this black and all this nondescript stuff here, and we'll could do this with a stick, but it would take too long, so I'll just do it with a brush. Do a mess there. Alright, we can coat that. I'm using the paint thinned down. There's a lot going on in this background, but we've got to simplify and take shortcuts and create an impression of a lot going on with the minimum of effort. And just before you get to just the other wait a minute. On the way this way, come up to Tooting and Mitcham football stadium, the new one, like a community ground with all weather pitches. It's really good. Tooting and Mitcham used to actually be in my part of Mitcham where I lived as a lad, or when I first got married as well. Good to see that they're still going. Okay, all these spindly little trees, I can do other. So let's just put this brambly bank in here. Look how easy it is really. Just, I think these look good because, I'll say good, that's a relative way of looking at it, but because it's a contrast between the black and the white, it's more dramatic than it would otherwise. Once you start putting the paint on it, it tends to die back a bit. I'll put it all shadowed. Windows recommends updating to Windows 10. Well, I got rid of Windows 10 on my tablet because I lost my Google Chrome. I don't know why. It was early days. But I reckon don't go onto a new operating system for about a year until they've sorted out all the problems with it. So I've gone back to Windows 8. This is Windows 7. Right, where was I? Yeah, we're on pictures, aren't we? Remove all disk. Let's find it again. Sorry about this. That one. That one. That'll do. Right, swig of tea. So I can't put everything in. It's just a complicated scene. Otherwise, I'm going to produce some of these coming up here, and then a couple of bigger ones. There's some ivy that will go in. And let's put in some of this here. There's a lot of ivy on this tree. Well, a lot of ivy on all these trees. And one up here. See, so it covers up the bits that you're not sure of for a photograph. Or probably better to do a sketch, but lots of stuff around here. Oops. Oh, excuse my French. well, we can bring in some reflections on that. I'll put some sky colour in there. Right, there's this one coming up here. And then we've got a lot of tangle of stuff here. They're all over the place. I'll do that in sort of a terracotta type of colour. Let's just strengthen under there, the disease. Right, so, I'll use a bigger brush for that tree, I think. Let's get that background in there. Right, ivy brush. There's an old worn out brush, that'll do. Right. Very big tree, this. Right away in here, then we've got lots of stuff in there. Actually, that goes up much higher than I've got it, so let's. And there's some bits of rogue stuff sticking out. Okay, so I've covered up most of the wall and the bits I'm not sure of. And we'll just use this brush for some random bits and pieces that will die back when I put in the colour. And the river comes down here and then vanishes behind all this sort of bramble, nettles, all sorts of rough stuff. Right, okay, that will sort of do. Let's just come up over here with some more ivy. I'll give this a dry in a minute and then, I mean, it's very old, all this stuff. It's got to make it look old. Like all this shadowy stuff. We're having fun now, really overdoing it, really going for it. So it's all in shadow here. Okay, that's. I can put some branches coming out of here. Okay, I'll just put in a bit more and then we'll dry it off and give it a bit of a colour wash. Whoops. Those are little branches. It's as if these trees have been coppiced at some stage. Okay. There are some shadows cast on this. This is going to stay, well, I might put like a lemon wash on that. Oh, the computer's come back to life again. Okay. Right, so let's get our colours. I've had to hide my palette or cover it up from Harry because he sat on it. I left it on the computer, on the touchpad, keypad. There it is, all nicely in its Ziploc bag. And I only had a go, he sat on it and squashed all the paint, so I'm cleaning the other one off. Right, I'm going to give that a dry, just to make sure it's blow dry. So, take your headphones off, turn on. Right, now bear in mind that was a mistake there, that just happened. That was a happening. Right, okay, so wet the paper all over. Palette usual, lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. The Cotsman watercolours, 21mm tubes, and a 2-inch Hague plus other brushes that I might or might not use. The paper's Fabriano, it's cheap and does the job for the line and wash. Right, let's just clip that there now. And we'll put a nice warm wash over the whole painting. Just get in there. It's so dark now I can't see where I put the water. But anyway, as that soaks in, the paper will expand. And there's a bit of lemon yellow in with that raw sienna. Just to give a bit of warmth to the painting, because it's a very bright day. And nice sunny day, so we'll get a bit of nice sunny colour in there, bit of alizarin. But darker on the horizon, on the overhead, the blue. But I'm doing that there because I want that to go through there. Okay, I'll do. That's the overhead. Excuse me a minute, I've got a little board on my pull-out table here, just so that I can. Oops, we've got to move the camera a little bit. Right, no, we're okay. Right, now I'm going to go into this area. Well, that's sort of soaking in. I'm just going to put a nice lot of light red, ultramarine, a bit of burnt umber in here, and it's all lovely and dark and moody in here, and some green. Good green, burnt sienna. Seem to be using all the colours at the moment. Because these aren't artist quality, you don't have the intensity of colour that you would get with the, from the student quality. I sometimes lose myself mid-flow when I start yakking. Right, so we've got a nice yellow behind. So let's put that in, just to brighten all the sunlit areas. There. Right. I'll re-clip that, get it nice and flat, and then we'll start to put in some. Now the sun seems to be coming that way, so this has got shadow on it, as has the front. It seems to be equally lit on that corner, so with well, I'm just going to put in some shadow colour. Let's have a nice bluey colour, and to show this is a reflection from the shadow cast by the tree. I'll put a bit of Payne's grey with that, because it's just a little bit all the way down here, bit in there, and that'll be about it. That shadow actually comes past the corner of that wall, or the reflection. It's strange. Right, so we'll just put in some cast shadows, and I was going to put in that wall, so let's put that in. And I can't see that is equally lit. I'll just put that a bit lighter there. Very little under the eaves, but it's quite dark. Right, okay. Now we've got all sorts of colours on that roof. It's essentially it's not light red, it's sort of light red and burnt umber and alizarin, I would have thought. So let's just put it in, darken that. And I can just put some darker bits in there to indicate the tiles, pan tiles. I'm using a sable now. And the same lighter version of that here. Now these are white with a bit of dirt, dirty cement, I suppose, where the tiles, where the smoke has blackened them. That one is quite dark actually, and we've got darker umber and get that a bit darker in there. Right, that one doesn't quite show. Alright, now chimneys are light, sort of ochre or persienna. It's a lovely brush, this. And it's here. See, when you put the colour on it, it tends to knock back the painting somewhat. You know, this, I don't know what colour that is, it's sort of a dark green. So let's have dark green. And it'll be quite dark on one side of it. So I put a bit of grey for this shadow. Okay, that is sort of a umbery colour. Now the windows, Let's just do the squares, I think. Trying to show the impression of the glazing bars. Very rough. You can do these with masking fluid, but it all takes time. And I've been looking at the book about, I presume it's a young man, Charles Wolfe, who specialises in doing abstracts, and I've looked at the first one. I enjoy abstracts. I have done them myself and sold them. I used to sell them in one particular gallery, the Sunshine Gallery, Hayes Galleria, in along the Thames, London Bridge. And I had 2 exhibitions at Cotton's Atrium there in about 1999. And all the unsold paintings, I was with a friend, went into the Sunshine Gallery, where they continued to sell, and I started to feed in some abstracts. And but funny enough, they sold. I couldn't believe it, and they sold for good sums of money too. I should have made them more expensive. But like all things, nothing lasts forever. I think he wanted to retire. And right, I've done made a good job of those shadows, but by the time I put in what they're actually shadowing, I think we've got a gutter pipe coming down here. Oops. Right, okay. So I want to just show some reflection of this in here. So the best way for me to show reflection is to get a rigger and put in some trees up in here. And bring them down here. And we've got that dark bit that I got carried away with, which I didn't really intend to do, so let's just put that in there. So you know that's a bit of water going down there. It's all very indistinct, but what I want to put in some ivy going up this tree there. So, or both of these trees. And we've got this one coming up here with some nice greenery. Okay, let's get that a little bigger. We'll put in a bit of burnt umber and blue. Always a good colour for this sort of thing. See, look, I'm going to have a go at Venice concoction. I used to do a lot of Venice paintings for a gallery in Oxford. That's another gallery. Every gallery I've ever been is closed. Says it all really, doesn't it? But you never know. You never know what happens. You might open one day another one, but I'll be too old. And I based all the Venice paintings on paintings, impressionist paintings by Antoine Bouvard. Just changed them around a bit. I stayed away from the Grand Canal because everybody knows what that looks like. What I'll do is use a bit of gouache. And they sold, it wasn't as successful as the owner had hoped, but they sold for quite good sums of money, which I didn't get. I just got a fixed price per canvas, but it was a great exercise, and I reckon I could simplify some of them and do some of this, because I won't have all the trees in, obviously, in the canal. But the buildings, it might take a bit of time, and I'm thinking about that as a future project. Right, now I want to use, like I put this gouache out, and we've got some sort of shadowy, shady fronds sort of coming over here. Just catching a bit of light in the gloom. It wasn't this gloomy, of course. It's the camera adds a bit of contrast to the scene. So that'll do. Going back to Charles Wolfe. I'd like to find, I think I'm his first subscriber. I don't know why. I think this is not very good, but I like abstracts, and he's using acrylics, but he's got some other videos in oil. All I would say is that I do prefer not to watch time-lapse photography. I would like a commentary, good or bad. You get to know what the person's like from the commentary, and I would like to have known more about Charles. He comes from America, and he seems to be doing some good work, and even my age I can still learn. Well, I still am learning. Let's just put in some of this clapboard. It's just almost a sort of cartoon there. Right, that's about all I'm going to do with that one. I'm not sure if I'll even upload it. I'll put it in a mount, and we'll see. It's taken me a while to get back into painting. I've only done this one I've just uploaded. 2 demonstrations in about 2 weeks, and I'm not really sure which way I'm going at the moment. So I'm just painting for the sake of it. I don't know. Let's see what you think about that. I could have done better with this, I think, but it's what it is. Let's bring you out, and you can have a look at it close up. So there's the river coming through there. Over here it goes under a bridge, and the A217, the Bishopsford Road is here. And the River Wandle, this is all opened up to us now. It was National Trust, but they've done a lot of work on this little river and opened this up for people like us, for the plebs, to enjoy. And then we go into Ravensbury Park, the other side, then into Malton Hall Park, then to the River Wandle, the Merton Abbey, and a cup of tea. Well, let's have a look at the mess I made of the house. But I'm not very good at that, I'll have to admit. I have done better. But I will again show you some, not today, but some stills of some of the Venice paintings I did, but they were all in oil. But because oil doesn't agree with me, I don't use it anymore, other than for a painting knife. Well, anyway, there we are. Clapboard houses, or old cottages, old wooden cottages, wooden clad cottages, Mitcham, Surrey, It's not really in Surrey, well it was, but it's all part of the Greater London area, of which I'm part. So I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun doing it. Nice to be back, and maybe we'll do some better work tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Let's just zoom out, give you a dwell on there. You get better with practice, and I haven't done line and wash or buildings for a long time. So there we are. Probably a bit more detail in there, regardless. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.